Well, welcome to SchezzWho, Hampton's top spot for politics after a bit of a hiatus. My last show was January 8th. And having decoupled from the streaming platform StreamYard due to a price hike, I believe I can do a few shows live right from YouTube in order to get back in the game. I just don't know yet how to do graphics and stuff like I did on StreamYard, so I'll keep trying. And don't forget the things which makes this show possible. Andrea, my awesome wife. Stay tuned for her shows on this channel under the Black Swan Chronicles designation. Also, stay tuned to future links on merchandise opportunities straight from SchezzWho. I'll swing to my neighbor, Ms. Ellen, who is excellent at preparing soul food, hence why I'm mentioning Ellen's Homestyle and Barbecue. She has a location in Virginia Beach across from Indian River Road and Regent University, as well as a location on Portsmouth Boulevard in Portsmouth across from Victory Crossing Shopping Center. Farley Perkins at the Farley Perkins Agency, via Brightway Insurance, can help many Chesapeake individuals and families with insurance needs. Call 757-271-6655, speak with Mr. Farley Perkins, and get what your family needs. And of course, for a great sweet treat in Portsmouth, head up ELG Sweet Boutique at 340 High Street in Portsmouth. Shakes, ice cream, other confections. It's tasty and just for you at ELG Sweet Boutique. 7837-3818 is their number. Now, during my last episode, which was so long ago that Joe Biden was still president of the United States, and now it's March 23rd, Donald Trump is living up to the hellish predictions we all thought of. And I want to focus on some of that right now. Mr. Paul Dans was director of Project 2025 at the Heritage Foundation. And when in mid-2024, the document became a political liability for Trump, Dans was forced out of Heritage. Now, the creator of that document, the one that is so severe on abortion, LGBTQ plus rights, presidential seizing of federal agencies, and elimination of many of them too, such as the Department of Education, document, has an opinion today. Reported in Politico, Dans is delighted with the extent to which Project 2025 has been implemented and how much it is the current playbook of the Trump administration. It's actually way beyond my wildest dreams, Dan said. It's not going to be the easiest road to hoe going forward. The deep state is going to get its breath back, but the way they've been able to move and upset the orthodoxy and at the same time really capture the imagination of the people, I think portends a great 4 years. Oh man, great for the billionaires maybe, horrible for us. I'll take a second to recollect all those Republicans who ran from Project 2025, the Rod Thompson common sense Republican yada yada types who swore up and down that Project 2025 was nothing and Trump specifically had nothing to do with it. Now we're here. And Donald Trump just signed an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. We're only a few days removed from the administration having suggested that if DOGE doesn't get access to personal protected information related to the Social Security Administration, that they just turn off the federal mechanism that dispenses with Social Security money. Howard Lutnick is the man in charge over at Commerce. He said if his mother-in-law missed her Social Security at the tender age of 94, that she wouldn't complain. She'd think it's just a mix-up and wait for next month. And that only fraudsters would make a big stink about it. Or at least that's what Lutnick claims. First, Howard Lutnick is worth $3 billion. Remember, this administration is for billionaires by billionaires. And second, Social Security is the most popular government program ever created by the United States and the most productive. It reduced senior poverty by the single greatest degree. Most people above 65 rely on Social Security as their biggest form of income. If Social Security was turned off, like it was being threatened, 37% of older Americans would be reduced below the poverty line. As of now, with Social Security, only 10% of older Americans are below the poverty line. I'll give you a direct example of DOGE hurting a Social Security recipient. Seattle's Ned Johnson. See, they declared that he was a dead person, and they raided his account of over $5,000. After all, that's part of the savings of waste and fraud, they say. Why would you be sending money to a dead person? Except Ned Johnson wasn't dead, and they plundered his $5,000. All this Social Security antagonism to go after this phantom fraud and abuse type stuff. That's how these MAGA folks get you. If you spend the better part of your online life debating with conservatives, they don't like government spending as a concept, except for the military and cops, of course. And we know the military and cops famously never do anything wasteful, fraudulent, or hurt anyone. Conservatives don't like public education. What they want is everyone homeschooling their kids or getting a voucher to go to standard Christian academy with the 10 Commandments on every desk. So boom, MAGA cuts off the Department of Education. If you propose the idea of Social Security right here today, you'd be labeled a communist, and they'd whine about no one should be taxed to pay for the welfare of other people. So of course they support the idea of Social Security being cut. It's why these MAGA folks defend Medicare and Medicaid being cut as well. Republicans even put that in their budgets, cutting Medicaid by hundreds of billions of dollars over 10 years. And that's outright going to kill people. But hey, they just don't like government doing societal beneficent stuff. They hide behind waste and abuse as a means to attack the program from a rhetorical safe space. It was only so clear recently on Fox News' The Five. Panelist Jessica Tarloff commented that cutting the DOE will negatively impact the quality of education of disabled children. Much of the funds for that stem from federal DOE dollars. Tarloff is out there talking about their plans for education in America. I don't hear them talking about making sure disabled kids have public education. Because we're against it, Greg Gutfeld just immediately said. I can't abide that, and I won't let this representation of capitalism gaslight me into being a shitty person. You don't like people getting food, shelter, education, and healthcare? That's pretty sad as shit. Maybe you need to reevaluate yourself. And you, viewer, hopefully you evaluate where you're getting your news from. Definitely less from Fox. More from SchezzWho. Go ahead, like this video, comment it, subscribe to this channel, and make sure that you keep your news away from that as possible. Let's get back in this game and advance in the direction of the Trump administration, not running away and cowering from it like those wimpy National Democrats. And I'll catch you next time.